And the best part about this, Sabrina, is that it's 4 players. That means me, you, Candace, and Derek can all play together. We are sitting here under a big monster truck. Hey, I told you these things are huge. Joining me now is Trey Myers. How tall are these monster trucks? All right, well, there you have it, Nick and Mimi. March 3rd will be the date of a North Boone teacher strike, but it didn't work out too well.
Just eat the whole thing.
Oh.
See? You should have eaten it the way I gave it to you.
School officials say they had a couple routes running late this morning to pick up kids. That meant students were out in the cold longer than they had to be.
Not only are sales up in the store, but also on the internet, from t-shirts to hats to jackets.
They actually just lit the Christmas tree. And Sabrina, it is packed here. I would say it's over 2,000 state liners here.
Just flushing one of these disposable wipes a day could lead to clogging of your private sewer lateral. Your best bet, just throw them in the trash.
Not to mention the assignments with the food.
Yeah, you got that right. You know, I actually tried my first pierogi today. Nick and Mimi, one woman I talked with says Dr. Charles DeHaan abused the trust of many. She was a caretaker for a woman who claimed to have been abused by DeHaan, but says she simply could not believe it was true. This is a Facebook photo of Brenda Cook. The Rockford woman was a patient of Dr. Charles DeHaan before passing away. Her caregiver, Melissa Johnson, says Cook told her DeHaan sexually abused her and now regrets she didn't believe her.
He would come when I was there and when I wasn't there. And when I was there, I didn't see anything. He acted just like professional, like a doctor. And then one day she mentioned to me that he touched her inappropriately. And I just kind of blew it off.
Dr. DeHaan is accused by state officials of having sexual inappropriate conduct with several female patients. DeHaan made in-home visits to patients, including here at Heritage Woods Assisted Living Center. His license is currently suspended. Johnson says she thought she could trust him.
And when I seen that, I was just shocked. And then it kind of like, I felt horrible because I didn't believe her, and she was going through that, you know, and I was just shocked.
Marilyn Fortner says DeHaan made visits to her Rockford home. She heard stories about DeHaan acting inappropriately with female patients, but says he never abused her.
He never bothered me, but he probably knew if he did, he'd get kicked where it would hurt.
Officials believe DeHaan may have sexually abused more state line women and would like them to come forward. Johnson wishes she could talk to one of his alleged victims one last time.
I would tell her I'm so sorry for not believing you, and I wish he gets what he deserves.
It doesn't look like a funeral, or sound like one, but it is. And they're doing it New Orleans style. All we're missing is gumbo. Family and friends in Pecatonica paying respects to Rockford entertainer Eddie Vespa.
He wanted us to be happy and to celebrate his life and not mourn his life, because that was his passion, was always to make everybody happy.
Vespa attended East High School and performed at many state line hotspots during the 70s. People who knew him for a long time say music was always his passion.
That was his life. I mean, he tried other things, but music was always his life.
At the end of the program, they had a song called Music Is My Jamaica, and that was, he wrote that song. That's how he felt about music.
He loved making people happy. He was happiest when he made you happy.
Yeah.
He was really a family man.
And if Eddie was here today,
He would have said, let the good times roll.
You're following the right part of the process.
this forum is being held to brainstorm about improving Rockford schools.
Wondering how far do they have to go?
But parent Stephen Bowling used it to vent his frustration about his son TJ being bullied. These are pictures of bruises taken by TJ's parents from a beating they say the 7-year-old received at school.
He's been hit, kicked, beat up in the classroom, outside.
TJ is a second grader at Whitehead Elementary. His father says the bullying has gotten so bad that it's become a risk to his health.
There was an incident last week of lead being put in his drinking water, and Another student actually told him about it before he drank it, thank God.
Bowling has been reaching out to the Rockford Public Schools to take action, saying no student can learn in an unsafe environment.
It breaks my heart because I wish I could do something about it. Obviously, you know, I can't. So I look at the teachers or the principal or the superintendent.
Well, anytime a student has a concern, we encourage them to go to their teacher and work with the principal to make sure that any particular issues that come up are addressed.
I've heard Superintendent Jarrett talk about this.
Community leaders spoke on the importance of education in the Forest City to help transform Rockford. Superintendent Jarrett says turning around Rockford schools will be a community effort. But for this parent, it starts with having a safe classroom.
Transform Rockford is great, but if you don't take care of the bullying situation and you don't have kids feeling safe inside the classroom, they're not going to be concentrating as much on their schoolwork.